Hey, Russ, how long have we been covering the Hot 10 Comics list by CBSI?
Yeah, I don't know, 5.5, 6 months, give or take.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've been covering this list. A question that has been brought up multiple times. Specifics on how this list is put together.
Yes.
We don't compile this list.
We do not.
Okay? And this list sometimes gets viewed as a speculation list, which this is not as well.
Very true. Yes, and I understand that it's comic book speculation and investing. The website CBSI that we are reporting this list from does do some speculation type things on their list. But this list itself, the Hot 10 Comics list, is reporting of things that have already spiked.
What was hot in the week? It's a review. All
Yes,
right? What's already happened?
Comes out on Friday and lets you know that over the course of the last 7 days, what has been spiking, what has been moving.
That begs the question, how does CBSI actually put together this list? It's a good question.
Yeah.
So I reached out to Jack. Shout out Jack over at CBSI, who's actually made this whole relationship happen between the Bags and Boards podcast and the group.
Oh, yeah.
He told me that they have over 10 people
Okay.
who compiled this list together. And what it looks like on his end is all throughout the week, they're exchanging messages, DMs, sending out eBay pages. Hey, look at this book. Look at this book. This book from last week. Look at this. And he says it's just a web of information that he's a part of, him in this group of 10. Then that list gets all compiled down and then provided to Ben Stein. Shout out Ben Stein. We're going to put his Instagram in the description below, who actually compiles this list together and puts it in order.
Yeah.
So although he's credited as the writer, he is just one of the pieces of the machine that actually puts it together and then makes it into a great list for us to read and then make a video on.
Which is good.
So what's interesting is that Ben Stein, he's a Silver Age expert.
And the owner of CBSI, isn't he a Golden Age expert?
Yes, like one of the main orders of CBSI is a Golden Age expert. So what's interesting is this list is compiled by all different types of experts within the comic book field, and there's multiples of them.
That's very, very cool. It seems like it's a great amalgam of you've got all of these experts from all of these different areas. So you know that if you have someone watching eBay and they're watching silver and gold and bronze and modern and variant and things that happen today, and they're watching what the new sales are, and they're watching what are happening at LCS, and they're watching all these other things. So it's not just one person going, I want this book to spike, and they are driving these. It is very much a compilation from all different types, all different people, all different collectors. And that's why we get to see Fantastic Four 48 hits the top. Hulk 181 hits the top. But then again, we have a brand new variant that was Ghost Spider that was a couple weeks in a row. And that was literally 1 week and 2 weeks after release. So that's why we're seeing such a wide swing on these, because there is a lot of input from a lot of different experts.
It adds a whole layer of credibility to this list, especially because there's so many people involved. There's no one person going, oh, we're going to put this on the list because we got 50 copies of it in the back issue bin.
I might be the only one that actually owns a store.
That's true.
I mean, truthfully, as far as so many of these collectors that are putting into this and so many of these writers and so many of these people that are helping with the articles, I might be the only one involved right now that actually has a physical local comic shop, and I'm not putting any input into this. I'm just reporting on it.
Right. We're just a cog in the machine. We help put the video together. We do not make the list. So to all of our new subscribers, this is something important to know before we jump into it.
Yep.
Hit that like, hit that subscribe button, and let's dive into the top 10 list of the week.
Coming in at number 10, Thanos number 11. You know it wouldn't be a good Hot 10 list without a Donny Cates appearance.
That's true. We got to make this into like a drinking game or something.
We probably have to, actually. But Thanos number 11 is first appearance of Fallen One. Now, this made an appearance last week in the list, and it's still holding tough at $30, up from $20 last week.
Already $10 more.
Yep.
Yeah, this Cates run is hot. There's so much happening. I've been following this run pretty close. I'm so excited to get the graphic novel to read it all just in one sitting. It's so good. It's ridiculously good. And I'm so excited to see with Guardians of the Galaxy around the corner, what he has in store for us and what other comics he caused to spike, just like he's done multiple times over this last year.
With the potential characters that are be coming out in Donny Cates' new Guardians of the Galaxy in, I think, January, there are a lot of other small residual appearances that are already spiking. So look at that poster, look at the Reddit posts, and we're seeing a lot of stuff that is going to be there. Cosmic Ghost Rider is probably the only one that we know for sure. There's a lot of other maybes in this list.
All right, moving on to number 9, we have Road of the Dead. an independent comic book, Highway to Hell #1. The regular cover is going for 10 to 15 bucks. The black cover, which is cover C, is going for 20 bucks. And there's also a cover B variant, which is a completely different cover than A or C, which is going for 15. This is an interesting book. It's a horror book. And there's actually this has happened a few times over these last few months, like just random kind of sci-fi, scary kind of themed horror books making this list.
Yeah, there are a lot of these books that they're in the back 200 pages of Diamond. There's a bunch of independent presses, and there isn't a whole lot of media buzz about them until a week or two before they release. And by that point in time, it's too late for shops to up their order. So the print runs are already going to be really small.
All right, moving on to number 8. You do this one.
Okay. Moving on to number 8, we have a great Star Wars book. This is the new Han Solo Imperial Cadet #1, the 1 in 50 variant. Now, this one is done by Luke Ross. It's a very pretty variant, and it's selling at $75.
It's my favorite Star Wars movie that's come out. I'll be straight with you.
The new Solo movie was actually really, really good. I enjoyed it a lot. I thought they did a good amount with the character, and it's nice to have more backstory of Han Solo because that scruffy nerf herder has always done a great job of getting people to like that. Even if you don't like other things going on in the movies, Han is a shining star.
Not to mention Khaleesi. Yeah. I mean, to be fair, okay, this is real talk here. I have fallen asleep in like so many theaters watching Star Wars movies. Like legit, over 3 Star Wars films, I remember sleeping halfway through them and then waking up at the end going, oh, damn, what'd I miss?
Episode
it's
1,
okay.
2, and 3, Tom. Yes, I know. I get it.
I don't know. It's not my thing. But Star Wars Solo, damn, that was a good movie.
Well, yeah, and I think something about Childish Gambino being in the movie kind of made it cool as well. There was a lot of cool stuff in this movie, and I think it's very, very underrated.
All right, moving on to number 7. We have Transdimensional #1. What is going on here? Okay, this is another one of those books here. This is actually was funded off Kickstarter.
Okay.
First off, this is a book that was made in particular for fans of Alien, The Wake, Abyss. I mean, this is definitely a sci-fi horror themed comic. Another one of these that are spiking. This is a 4-issue sci-fi horror miniseries by Pub Comics over in the UK. They got funded for like just over 1,500 euros to make this comic happen.
Okay.
And it's already popping.
Very, very cool. And if it's a 4-part miniseries and no one got #1, expect to see either reprints of #1 or increased spikes for 2, 3, and 4. We're seeing that with Riptide right now, which is another one of those books that #1 was on the list, and then people finally caught the buzz by 2 and 3, and things are still spiking. So be prepared for Transdimensional 2, 3, and 4.
That's right. Hit us up on number 6.
Number 6, we have Young Allies #6, the 1 in 15 Art Adams variant. And this one is going for $300.
That's right. This is an awesome cover.
Art Adams does do a fantastic job of these covers, and we've been seeing a lot more of his variant covers lately, and he just does such a great job. It's very stylistic. You can always tell that it's an Art Adams cover.
1 in 15.
That's kind of an odd number,
right?
For these.
For one that spikes this hard, a 1 in 15, it's just a lot of people weren't ordering this. Not a lot of them were made.
No, I mean, Young Allies is just kind of a run that wasn't selling a whole lot of. So really, if there was a 15,000 print run, at most there's 1,000 of this variant, and odds are there isn't even that many out there.
Oh, shoot, Russ, it's 12:31 in the a.m. You know what time it is.
Yeah, Tom, it's actually the time where we give shout-outs to people who have success stories. There's a great amount of people who have been out there searching, out in the trenches, out in the long boxes, and they are finding these things out there.
Polyarcox got 2 of the Venom secret variants. He also got 2 of the Cap 25 first Sam Wilson.
Nice.
As Captain America.
Very cool. We have Jetty Orr got Ice Cream Man #8 variant, as well as Notch Pacino got the Ice Cream Man #8 Del Rey variant.
A lot of people like that Ice Cream Man.
Oh, it's creepy clowns.
I was excited that you put one in my box. I thought that I had to give my other one away because we do have a giveaway we're going to be doing at the end of the video for that Ice Cream Man variant.
I got 2 copies, one for you and one for the box, Tom.
That's
I know how much you like clowns.
That's right. All right. I got issues 2, 3, 1, 9, got 2 Cap 25s, and he picked up the Cap 25 Bully variant that we mentioned.
Oh, very, very cool. I see that Born 20083 got a Daredevil 610.
Ooh, as did Garnet 2K. He also got a first Old Lady Harley, as well as 3 of those Venom Error variants.
Nice. Chad 90 MF Comics got 8 of the hot books from the last few months, multiple copies of Iron Man First Rescue, Daredevil 10, the first appearance of Vigil, and Cap 25, plus lots more.
Look at that picture. That's crazy. He killed it.
It's good.
It feels good to see so many people go and score comics like this.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you so much, community. We do appreciate you tagging us on Instagram, sharing your success stories. We like to highlight them. And without further ado, let's jump back into the video because we are at number 5. We're talking Invisibles number 1. Grant Morrison has made the list. Invisibles number 1, Russ.
Okay, this is really, really cool. And Grant Morrison is back in the public eye because he just released the new Green Lantern, where Green Lantern is getting to be kind of a space police person. But both Tom and I ran around looking for our Invisibles number 1s, and I can't find mine.
This is legit a really good example of a book that I know to be in like probably 95% of local comic shops across the country.
Oh, absolutely. It's a Vertigo title from the mid-90s, and you know that there are just a ton of people that it's going to be in those back issue boxes with those weird Hellblazer issues that aren't selling, with Goddess, with Chiaroscuro. A lot of these Vertigo books, Egypt. I mean, there are Vertigo miniseries that are just not selling, and other than like Flex Mentallo that you know is going to be valuable because that has like contractual issues.
Yeah.
I mean, that one, the single issues of that are worth something. Invisibles is not a book that it's not on anyone's radar, and now it's been optioned for a movie or a TV show.
TV show.
TV show, okay.
Yeah, it's actually really interesting because this is a really good run. This is a recommendation for more of the, I would call, seasoned comic book readers. It's a heavy story. Really, if you're a fan of The Matrix, this is essentially where The Matrix was like the idea of like this sci-fi dystopian future, which really like dives into like the psyche of what reality truly is in our reality.
Sure.
It was all stemmed from this run. Grant Morrison's a genius. This is a fantastic read. Something a lot of people don't know. I have to recommend this podcast. It's Fat Man on Batman, the Kevin Smith podcast. Back in 2013, he did an interview with Grant Morrison. Okay, this is episode 26 that he did this with. Grant Morrison goes on to tell him about his experience when he like traveled to Europe to do this. Like, he wanted to really experience something.
Sure.
You know, stretch his mind, really get out there. You know, if you read Grant Morrison, you know this guy he's dabbled in psychedelics a lot.
Right.
You know, pushes his writing creativity to the max. But he like describes he doesn't say alien abduction, but the dude describes an alien abduction in this podcast. And I only mention that because he has linked this experience that he had, this singularity, as he calls it, to like what helped him finish Invisibles. So it's important to listen to that part of the podcast. And then if you decide to read this book, to read it after that.
Okay.
You know, because it's interesting stuff. But
That's
yeah,
interesting.
Invisibles. And what is this book going for?
The Invisibles number 1 is going for $15 to $20 currently.
That is nuts.
I know.
That's a quarter bin book, dollar bin book.
Yeah.
Forever.
Yep.
But you know what? Go find it.
I
I'm
have a strong
excited.
feeling we're going to find people who will have runs of these that they'll grab at half-price books for $5. I mean, it won't cost much. So one was possessed by a poltergeist. One was trapped in a haunted house. A third has a killer doll. What happened to those children in the 1980s? Well, you'll find out in book number 4, The Survivors Club, number 1.
That's right. Also, a cover by Bill Sienkiewicz.
That's great, and we know that there's a show in the works for this one. This book just came out, and it's selling for $15 to $20.
Another one of these independent horror-themed books. It's awesome. We're getting some horror love in the community. It's showing in the market. People are paying more than cover price. And this is a Bill S. cover. You know I want it.
Right. Well, and you know, it's such a fantastic thing to see so many small publishers on this list that aren't Marvel and DC and Image. Because a lot of times you're going to get the main publishers. And now we've got, you know, other publishers on this list that are off the beaten path. And it's great to see them getting some love.
A little bit of a bummer here. This is the first list where we don't have a comic from the list to give away. I couldn't find an Invisibles number 1. I know I have like 3 of them here somewhere.
I couldn't find one either in time for the recording tonight, no.
How much does that bug you? Just like side note.
It does, and I'm sure I'll probably find one next week after we've given it away. But we had to find something else to give out this week because, as is our tradition, we are giving away something. If you like, subscribe, and comment down below.
That's right. So, and we're going to make up for it because it is within theme. Invisibles Volume 3, the graphic novel. We'll be sending this out to someone.
Cool.
And we're going to do a second giveaway this video. So we're going to be doing 2. So you want to make sure to comment down below. Let us know what you think about the list. Do you have any of these books? We want to know your thoughts. We're also going to send out this Bill S. Venom Annual #1 because it's so slick.
That is such an awesome cover.
How many copies do I have of this?
15?
I have 15 copies of this. The
You have a
idea
few of
is
them.
we're going to put them behind. At one point,
Yes.
I want to have this whole wall be, I almost said Bill Sienkiewicz. It's already Bill. But
Right.
we want to have the whole wall be this cover. But
That
you know what?
Venom cover.
We're going to give both of these out. We have a Bill S. cover to kind of go with this Survivors Club book. And we have Invisibles Volume 3. Comment down below. And then, Russ, can you do us a favor and hit us with number 3?
Number 3, we have Rags #2. Rags #2 is selling for $30 right now, but there's also a Patreon variant going for $60.
That's right.
Now, if you remember, Rags #1 happened to be on our list about a month and a half ago.
Yep. Right when it came out.
Interesting thing, number 2 happens to be Rags #1 again.
That's right. We have Rags showing up twice on this list.
It's crazy. So for number 3, Rags 2, $30, and the Patreon variant $60. Rags 1 is currently going for $75 to $150 for a CGC 9.6.
Dang.
We know it's a low print run. There was a lot of people out there who I know had ordered the book and didn't actually get it from the website. So we're going to see what's happening with this book. It's popular. Tom had an opportunity to read it. What'd you think?
I saw it on the list and I'm like, I have to read this book
Yeah.
now. Like, what's going on? First off, the art is awesome.
Okay.
Yeah, for like, it's a
Just
zombie.
the covers look great, but
It is. And honestly, it's like, if you like the cover, you're going to like the inside.
okay.
The lead is drawn wonderfully.
Okay.
Tattoos are vibrant, monochromatic colors.
Mhm.
That's something I didn't know. The few colors that are there are the tattoos on her and like the American flag and some of like the random stuff. But a lot
Okay.
of the zombies are all black and white.
Okay.
Very Walking Dead feel, but it's so detailed. The line work is great. Like this isn't, you're not going to see line work like this in like any Marvel comic. And I
Okay.
think that's really why this is picking up and why this is gaining ground. The artwork is fantastic. You don't learn a whole lot about what's going on in this issue. It's very much like similar to like Rick wakes up and he's in a zombified world, like very similar.
Sure.
But this is a different like army vet character. She happens to be naked when she enters into the comic book, but it's actually really interesting. The art's fantastic.
Okay.
I'm going to be getting this graphic novel. I got to read this.
Sure. And that's awesome to hear because a lot of times you'll have them, especially independent comics, they will spend a lot of money to get a good cover artist, and then they'll just have someone do the interior or send it off to get another project to do the interior. So the cover art is not representative of the interior. So it's great to know that the cover art is as good as the interior.
Absolutely.
Very, very cool.
All right. And then #1 on the list, coming out of nowhere, Punchline #1.
An Antarctic comic?
Another one. This is a list filled with indie comics. They've killed it this week. The independent artists and writers, they're putting together some awesome stuff. This is exciting.
Mm-hmm.
This is really good news to see independent comic books making a splash in the comic book community.
Absolutely. I mean, Donny Cates still made the list because of one Thanos comic, but so many times we see these lists that are just saturated with all of these Marvel and all of these DC things, and it's really, really great to see so much horror and so much love for the indie scene right now.
This book's already getting between $25 and $30. This is the Matthew Weldon variant, and really, this is a cool intro to a superhero book because, for one, it's like it's a new superhero, but it's not an origin story.
Okay.
It's like you open it up and you're in the world, you have heroes here, and you're just accepting what's going on. And I like that. A lot of the times you get like, oh, it's a new superhero. Great. We're going to have to read like the first 2 pages of introduction.
Right.
They skip that. And you get right to
Hit the ground running.
right
Fantastic.
to the characters. You learn about them.
Good.
You get hooked. And the art is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Like the Antarctic Press, they know what they're looking for.
Right.
Their artists are, you can tell they're looking for particular artists to do work on these comics.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're all super unique in their own way. They're not quickly doing these books.
No.
These people are earning their spot on that credit page.
Absolutely. Very, very cool. Well, again, thanks so much for joining us this week for another Hot 10 list. Thank you so much to CBSI, comicbookinvest.com for getting this list to us so we're able to get this out for you tonight. One last thing, our giveaway winner from last week is Lucy G, and she wins a copy of the Ice Cream Man number 8 Del Rey Creepy Clown variant.
Thank you so much, Lucy G, for commenting. And if you want to be entered into our giveaway for this week's books, because we have 2 giveaways we're doing, we have Invisibles Volume 3. Nice old first print graphic novel.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure it's a first print. Don't hold me to that, but I'm pretty sure it is. And then we also have Venom Annual number 1, the Bill Sienkiewicz variant. It's hot. It's awesome. And yeah, comment down below so we can have an excuse to send this to you. We do appreciate your time. And as always,
geek responsibly.
till next week. Enough said. Thanks so much for watching the video. Do you shop for comics on eBay? Well, for one, you should prioritize your local comic shops first. But if you do buy comics on eBay and you click the link below, any purchase you make within the hour, instead of eBay getting your full fee, you can help support the podcast and we'll get half. We don't get any of your information, you just help support the podcast.